This is Jeremy Sports Network coming to you live. Hey, you guys, how's everybody doing on today? Man, we are here. Underground Showdown is here, and it is about to take place. I mean, I'm excited. I've been primed and ready for this. I know the fighters are ready for this. Definitely looking forward to seeing these guys do their thing in the ring come Saturday night. Now, tonight, there is press conference on tonight and the weigh-in at 6 o'clock. It's free. Everybody is invited. I hope everybody shows up. It's at the Hard Rock Cafe. It's going down. And I mean, why not come to this event? If you're a fight fan, this is what you've been waiting for, right? For professional boxing to be back in the ATL. It is now here. You got some great fighters making their pro debuts. If you've been tuning in and following my page, you already know what's going down. But we're going to talk about that a little later. But we're going to hop in right now and talk about some of what's going on with boxing itself, right? A lot of people say, oh, boxing's dead. Boxing is this. Boxing is that. Hey, boxing ain't going nowhere. That's what I've been telling a lot of people. Boxing has not gone anywhere, and it's only getting better because the new deal that Top Rank have with ESPN. Now, we know Oscar De La Hoya had a deal with ESPN, still have a deal with ESPN, with Golden Boy Promotions being on ESPN and ESPN2. Their fights being showcased on ESPN2. We had your Yurius Gamboa, who's been performing for De La Hoya on that card, and he took a L in his last fight. And we're thinking, okay, with Oscar having Gamboa losing, how is that going to serve well for fight fans and grabbing their attention back into the sport of boxing? Well, Top Rank slid in the door, right? Bob Arum doing his thing, slid back in the door, and we were able to get Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn on that card. Matter of fact, they're going to be showcasing their own main event, and Manny will be defending his title on this card against Jeff Horn. He's fighting in Jeff Horn's backyard. And to me, I'm wondering what's going to be, next for Manny Pacquiao. Is Jeff Horn going to be able to defeat Manny Pacquiao? And if so, it's going to be, like Andre Ward said on ESPN this morning, a colossal defeat, right? It's going to be very big if Jeff Horn's able to upset Manny Pacquiao, who a lot of people know Manny still has a lot left in his tank. Yes, he throws punches in bunches. And at the same time, Manny Pacquiao, who lost to Floyd Mayweather, is really looking for another opportunity to be fight number 51 for Floyd. And a lot of people don't understand that. And they thinking, hey, Manny lost. He shouldn't try to fight Floyd Mayweather because he lost. Well, everybody knows what Manny's been criticized of is the injury that was put out there saying that he hurt his shoulder and he wasn't really able to fight against Floyd, right? That's what's been said, right? But Manny really haven't been in big news lately, except for what we have right now here on ESPN, him taking on Jeff Horn. Now, Jeff Horn, he is a great fighter, and he has a puncher's chance against Manny Pacquiao, but look for Manny Pacquiao to try to put on his best performance being live on ESPN for the first time. ESPN is getting an opportunity to host a title fight, right? Since the beginning ages, I guess. I can't even give you a date on when, right? ESPN hosting a Manny Pacquiao fight when Manny is a pay-per-view legend? Like, why will Manny, fight on ESPN? Well, guess what? Top Rank just sprinkled a little bit of I'll say juice, whether you can take that perspective or not. And they switching up the game. They switching up the game to the point to where now it's time to reach out to more fans. Everybody don't have HBO. Everybody don't have Showtime. But think about what you're getting if you're a fight fan with Manny Pacquiao fighting on ESPN. This is big for boxing. This is big for the boxing community. This is big for boxing fans. And like myself, who enjoy the sport, we getting this opportunity right here. This is like, this is mind-boggling to me, because not only are we getting Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn, but we're getting more fights, right? We got Lomachenko, who's going to be fighting on ESPN, and another name that just been announced on yesterday, who will be fighting on ESPN to unify all of the belts in his division, the 140-pound division, is none other than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford will be taking on Ndongo for all the marbles. And that's going to be on ESPN. You don't get that, right? You don't get that if you're a traditional boxing fan. You already know you're not going to get that on free television. A unification bout to this magnitude? Are you serious? This unification bout right here, Terrence Crawford should be on pay. It should be on pay-per-view when you think about what it is that we have right here. This is a pay-per-view bout, but we getting it for free on ESPN thanks to Top Rank and Bob Arum doing us a fan favor. We getting a big fight, because this is not a easy. This is not going to be everybody. Oh, he's nobody. Ndongo is nobody. Well, if you've been following boxing, you already know who Ndongo is, what he represents. He was at Terrence Crawford last fight, right? And Crawford was able to call him out and say he wanted to unify, and Ndongo accepted it. And we get in this fight, I believe, August the 5th. We getting Terrence Crawford, one of the best in the world, pound for pound, fighting on ESPN on August the 5th. I mean, this year in boxing has been a year like none other. We've been getting the best fights, and it started out with, for me, it started out with this fight right here with Danny unifying with Keith Thurman. That was one of the top fights. I was there at that fight live and was able to see Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia go toe-to-toe and throw hands with each other. And I believe after that, we started to get more and more fights. Big-time fights. And now what's coming up, on July the 29th, we have another fight with Adrian Broner taking on Mikey Garcia. That's another big fight. And you can't help but be in awe of that fight. That fight is going to be on Showtime. That's not going to be on free television. But these are big fights that we are having right now this year in boxing. And boxing is making a whole lot of noise and coming back into fruition, where a lot of people say boxing was left for dead, right? Well, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. And it's coming back, and it's making a big time acquisition with what Top Rank has done with putting your guy like Terrence Crawford versus Ndongo right on ESPN Live for a full unification bout, where titles. Terrence Crawford is finna do something that hasn't been done since 2005. Okay? This is a fun fact that I'm going to throw out there. He's about to unify every single title in the division come August 5th. And he will be the first man to do that since 2005. Floyd Mayweather didn't even do this. So you got to give Terrence Crawford what he's doing a whole lot of credit once he comes out victorious against Ndongo. You have to. What he's doing is mind-boggling, and the fact that you're getting it on free television, you, as a fight fan, should be very appreciative right now. Very appreciative, because I know I am. And not only that, like I said, we got Adrian Broner taking on Mikey Garcia, which we'll talk about that fight a little bit later, coming within the next month. But another fighter that is sound to about Billions Promotions is Robert Easter Jr., who is going to be defending his title on tonight in Toledo. Robert Easter Jr. defending his title tonight, and some people say, well, this fight is not going to, do anything for Robert Easter. Well, Robert Easter knows that this fight right here is a very tough fight because the guy who he's facing is not a slouch. Is not a slouch at all. He beat some good names, some good quality name opponents. But what I can say is, although he do have 2 losses, but he has the experience going up against a Robert Easter Jr. He has the experience to keep him in that fight. Do I believe he's going to win that fight? Absolutely not. I believe Robert Easter Jr. is just on a whole nother level when it comes to fighting, and he's going to do amazing come tonight. And not only that, you have to think about it. About Billions Promotions and Adrian Broner, who's going to be there in the building supporting Robert Easter Jr., is trying to transform the game almost. We know Mayweather Promotions is out there. You got About Billions Promotions who's out there, which by the way, you really have to give credit to Adrian Broner, because Adrian Broner right now could be making a whole lot of dough. He's making a whole lot of dough now. But think about the dough he could have been making if he would have kept Gervonta Davis to himself. If he was able to keep Gervonta to himself and not give Gervonta to Floyd, and we see what Gervonta's doing right now in the sport of boxing, right? IBF champion, very young. He will be fighting on the undercard of Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, taking on Orlando Salido. But think about if Adrian was able to keep Gervonta. Think about the numbers that Adrian Broner would be doing. Would it be able to keep him more focused? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, he does have Rashid Warren, who was a world champion. He actually lost his last fight, but he's still a good opponent, still a good fighter. And Robert Easter Jr., who is a hell of a fighter, great fighter, will be fighting on tonight. But Adrian Broner right now, I believe he's in a place to where nobody is actually giving him an opportunity, or I ain't going to say give him an opportunity, but nobody's actually giving him a shot to beat Mikey Garcia. And the fact that they're not giving him a shot to beat Mikey Garcia rubs Adrian in a way, because Adrian is thinking, well, how is it that he's a 5-1 favorite to beat me? I'm a 5-1 underdog, right? To lose against to Mikey Garcia, but I'm a 4-time division world champion and is the youngest to ever do it. Nobody's done what Adrian's done at the time frame that he's done it. Just as simple as that. And I love when a fighter can stay in the moment instead of stepping out on limbs and saying things, but they actually speak facts to situations. And the situation that Adrian is speaking facts to is, if you take all of his opponents and you take Mikey Garcia and all of his opponents, who would be undefeated? Adrian Broner would be undefeated if Adrian Broner took on all Mikey Garcia opponents. Adrian Broner still undefeated at it. From 140 on down, Adrian Broner has not lost a fight. He only lost 2 fights going up to 147. And that's against Sean Porter and Chino Maidana, who said that Adrian Broner hits the hardest. And he's from Mikey Garcia's camp. So you have to really pay homage to what Adrian Broner is putting out there, because he's the bigger natural guy, natural size guy, natural opponent, bigger than Mikey Garcia. But a lot of people want to give Mikey Garcia that credit because Mikey fights to fight. Mikey doesn't play games. He's not out there in the streets. He's not out there doing anything that he doesn't have any business doing. You don't hear Mikey Garcia's name in any kind of trouble, any kind of anything. Robert Garcia does a great job within keeping his family close and intact. And Mikey's a gym rat. He stays in the gym. And those are some of the things, to me, that stand out with Mikey Garcia than anything. So, but I look for Robert Easter Jr. to have a magnificent performance on tonight for About Billions Promotions. And not only that, but I'm looking for Robert Easter to call out an opponent. And I'm not going to say anything right now because, a lot of people don't know of this news yet when it comes to Robert Easter and who Robert Easter will be facing maybe afterwards, not overlooking his opponent who he's fighting now. But it's a big name that's out there for Robert Easter Jr. And I think Robert Easter may call that name out tonight. But I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to tune in like everybody else and just wait and see who it is that Robert Easter calls out. Because I'm looking for that name to be called out. And I don't want to raise any eyebrows and throw, any names out there that may not be called out, But I believe Robert Easter has a huge announcement coming for tonight after this victory. After this victory, right? I mean, who else do we see doing what it is that Robert Easter's doing? Robert Easter, you throw him in there, he's taking them out. And he's looking good doing it, right? So you have to give credit where credit is due. A lot of people don't want to bring up Robert Easter Jr.'s name and want to give any credit to what Robert Easter Jr. is doing in the sport. And that's why I love the fact that Adrian Broner, he gives credit to Robert Easter. A lot of people don't talk about Robert Easter at all. And as a fighting analyst and a person who is tuned in to these fighters, and I do a lot of studying and I listen to what a lot of media guys say and different boxing shows, and just hear what it is that's the noise that's out there. And Robert Easter's name is hardly out there, and he's doing a wonderful job with what it is that he's doing, and he's a world champion. But like I said, tonight he's going to showcase his skills on tonight, so you have an opportunity to tune in. And not only that, we get an opportunity to tune in if you're going to be here in the ATL, right? I need all my ATLians to stand up. Hey, you got professional boxing back here in the ATL. And it's at the Underground Showdown, which starts tonight. It's tonight, right? You got the weigh-in. You got the press conference. You get an opportunity to see these guys showcase their skills. Hey, and like I said, if you've been following, especially Jeremy Sports Network, corporate fights, Buckhead Fight Club, if you've been following and tuning in, you was able to get to see some great interviews and hear from these guys who are making their pro debuts, from Deontay Brown, CR always working Barlow. That's my boy. Shout out to CR. Eric Moon, 4-0, 4 knockouts. I'm talking about amazing power that he has. Will be on Showcase on Saturday night. I'm just saying, it's Tavisha Norwood, #Elbow Grease Golden Gloves champion, will be fighting Abel Abadicio. I mean, he's a technician. He's going to be fighting, making his pro debut in October. This will be his last amateur bout, but you will be able to get to see him do his thing on the Underground Showdown, and he'll be making his pro debut in October. But you should go back and do some studying, you guys, and listen to these interviews with these fighters, and come out and support them at the weigh-in and at the press conference. And like I said, it's going to be a fabulous event. I mean, you got Eric Moon. Like I said, man, these guys, what y'all got to understand is they're from your hometown. They're from Atlanta. CR, straight from Atlanta. Eric Moon from Atlanta. I believe Deontay Brown's from Atlanta. They all reside here in the ATL. And they're making they're fighting professionally here at home, and we get an opportunity to showcase that thanks to Terry Moss, the boss, who is former world champion herself. Shouts out to her. She's done a magnificent job, a wonderful job for putting this whole entire event together. Shout out to Amy Green. Amy, how you doing? She's here in town all the way from Oklahoma. We got James Dominguez who brought Kelly Pavlik, former world champion. Like I said, this is going to be an awesome night. Like I said, I can't wait. I know the press conference and weigh-in is going to be off the chain. I'm going to be headed down there to the Hard Rock Cafe on today to bring you guys some exclusive footage of the weigh-in if you're not able to make it, and the press conference. And not only that, we got the fight that's coming on tomorrow night. I mean, tomorrow night, we got the Underground Showdown, and it's going down in the ATL, putting on for your city. Like, I'm just as excited as these fighters are excited as if I'm going to be fighting. But, you know, I'm going to be working the camera, doing my thing. But like I said, this is a great opportunity for boxing to be back here in the ATL. And everybody should come out and show their support. Sponsored by Hooters, Hard Rock Cafe. You got other sponsors that's a part of this. And this is very big. And I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys on today and tomorrow night. And if you have any questions about anything, you know, hit me up on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter at Jeremy_sports and on Facebook at Jeremy Sports Network. Y'all already know what it is. This your boy Jeremy. I am about to sign out. Hey, tune in. Go to my YouTube page right now. Subscribe, because that's where you're going to get some exclusive footage, some live stream of what's going to be taking place. I will be streaming here on Facebook as well, but you'll be getting some exclusive content and more on YouTube as well. So go ahead and follow that at Jeremy Sports Network on YouTube, at Jeremy_sports on Twitter as well. And I do have an IG. You can follow me on IG as well at itsmytime_229. So this is Jeremy Sports Network. I'm signing out. Peace.